and welcome. I'm Hrish, co-founder and CEO of SuperWorld, a virtual world in augmented reality, where creativity and entrepreneurship come together on one decentralized platform. From the Empire State Building to the Sydney Opera House to some of the more obscure places on Earth, in SuperWorld, our world is yours. Yours to buy, yours to sell, yours to create, and yours to explore. SuperWorld is mapped on top of the real world to create over 64 billion unique plots of land, with each plot measuring roughly 100 meters by 100 meters of real-world space. To give you an idea, one plot of SuperWorld AR real estate is about the size of Yankee Stadium. Ready to get started? Find land to cultivate for its strategic real estate location as a digital asset or that holds sentimental value for you. Buying and selling virtual real estate in SuperWorld is easy, as all transactions take place securely on the Ethereum blockchain, and every plot of land is represented by a non-fungible token on the ERC 721 standard. Personalize your world in AR through interactive 3D objects, animation, photos, videos, and text to truly make a world of your own. Ready to find your peace on Earth? Join us in SuperWorld.
Everybody, it's great to see you, and today together with our co-founder and CEO Hrish, we're going to introduce you to SuperWorld, and we're going to discuss all the offers of the week, as well as we're going to dive into the topic of exploring SuperWorld's vision. And the interesting part today is that we are, as you can see, sharing the comment section here on the right side of the screen, because more or less in the middle of the sessions we are finished discussing the vision of SuperWorld. We would love to have an open discussion with all of you here and hear your thoughts, and get more in contact with you guys today during our live stream. So welcome to everybody, and I'm really happy to see already some of the hello comments here. So Hrish, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Another SuperWorld show live, and this one I'm really is very special because we talk a lot about our vision at SuperWorld, and I am very excited about how our vision will really be able to come to life as we enable that vision for different use cases, for different businesses, for not-for-profit, philanthropic causes and missions. I mean, you name it. So, I wanted to spend time today kind of exploring that vision, but also kind of having a little bit of a different format where, as part of that, having a discussion where we can go into, different use cases or ideas around how we bring utility to SuperWorld, based on our vision. So excited for the discussion tonight and to see what everyone comes up with, and kind of bat some ideas around, and then do our normal kind of questions and stuff. But I'm excited about this kind of more discussion format that we're going to include tonight, discussing the vision. And I think we might have lost Marta. Not sure. I know her computer was acting up. So hopefully everyone can hear me. There she is. Hey, you there?
Hey, let me just quickly add the background, because I don't think that this is something that everybody would love to see tonight. So let me just add some background, and I'm back on the stream. I was having some issues today, so sorry guys for the disruption. I hope it will not repeat.
Yep.
And
no
let me
problem,
just
no problem. No, you were only gone for a second. So
Yeah. I know. I disappeared for a second. Sorry for that. I hope it will not repeat anymore.
Yeah,
Internet in
Alex,
Germany
said,
can be a
hi,
tricky thing,
Krishna.
you know. Sorry. I just wanted to say that internet in Germany can be a tricky thing. So yeah, sorry for that, guys. Let's continue.
Yeah, so I just ended up kind of giving a little bit of my intro on what we're going to talk about tonight, just on a high level, so we can go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So now let's move on to you giving us a short introduction of who you are to the new people.
Yeah. So if anyone, is new and doesn't know me, my background's kind of taking me through a variety of industries. Just a quick kind of run through who I am. So, my background started off in management consulting. I worked on Wall Street. I was in investment banking. Started off at UBS Investment Bank in New York, HSBC in New York. Was in real estate investment banking starting off, which is interesting because we're very much an originator in SuperWorld of virtual real estate. So I come from a physical real estate background, and SuperWorld kind of brings together physical and virtual real estate. After that, got into venture capital, worked at Spencer Trask Ventures for an awesome investor named Adam Stern, who's one of our investors in SuperWorld, a great friend of mine as well. And then went over to Eastern Europe and started a venture capital fund investing early stage companies in Ukraine called East Labs. So helped found East Labs along with two wonderful partners. We invested in a company called Preply, which some of you might have heard of. They're the largest online tutoring marketplace in the world. Also involved in Tech Minsk in Belarus. And then after that, was an early employee, first biz dev at TopTal. TopTal is a global talent marketplace backed by Andreessen Horowitz. So learned a lot about scaling marketplaces through that experience, being part of a rocket ship like TopTal. And then after that, and before SuperWorld, started Rogue Initiative Studios, which is a film, television, gaming, and virtual reality studio in Los Angeles. My co-founder had produced Call of Duty, Modern Warfare series, and Ghosts. And my production partner there is Michael Bay, the action director. And at Rogue Initiative, what we do is build franchises that go across film, television, gaming, virtual reality, all the way to amusement park rides and toys. And the idea there is, what I learned is a Michael Bay movie and a Call of Duty game, because they're built in engines like Unreal Engine and Unity Engine, as an example, anything can be built in an engine. So that movie and the game are literally the same thing. They're built in an engine. And what happened was Pokemon Go came out about 6 years ago, and we thought, you know what? How can we empower anyone to build anything they love anywhere? So we loved what Pokemon had done, but we thought, how could that be whatever you want it to be? And that became the vision of SuperWorld. And I started SuperWorld with my co-founder, Max Woon, in 2017. So we've been around for a while, and been very excited about this vision, which we're going to talk about tonight, to enhance your real life. And how do we build a virtual world? What if you could build a virtual world that enhances your physical life in your real life, brings your physical and virtual life together? And then what if you could build a virtual world that actually enhances Earth and humanity? Could we build a virtual world that improves our planet and improves all of our lives? That's the mission. That's our vision at SuperWorld.
Okay, thanks, Hrish. And so about today's session, we'll of course introduce you guys to SuperWorld's. It's important, especially for the new people, and we're going to tell you about the special offers that you could be interested in this week. And of course, the key topic of this week is us discussing the vision and the utility of SuperWorld. And as I already mentioned before, we would love to hear your ideas, your thoughts, and this will be an active time when you will be able to share your thoughts and ideas with us, and we'll be discussing actively with you the idea of SuperWorld and the ideas that you guys have. That's why we have the chat here on the right side to already kind of warm you up. And in the end, we'll still have some time for Q&A, for some unanswered questions. So there will be also time for that. So today it's a lot of talking with you guys. We would love to see you guys contributing with your ideas, as I already said before. And as I'm already saying, feel free to write us, where are you watching us from? Also maybe the project that you are working with, just like Alex also wrote here in the chat. So please also feel free to share whatever you want with us, and we would love to see you guys doing that. So the next step, as I already said, will be Hrish telling you about the idea of SuperWorld.
Yeah, so SuperWorld is a virtual world. It covers Earth. We're in it right now. It's all around us. You have a world, I have a world, brands have worlds. So anyone can create, discover, and monetize anything anywhere. So if I come to New York or London or Paris or Los Angeles, anywhere in the world, you could say, Hrish, check out my world. And I could walk around and you've left me things. You've left a hologram of yourself somewhere. You've left 3D content that I could click on and go inside of, or click on and buy something. You've left photos and videos in different places. You've left an audio tour for me to listen to while I'm taking a run. You've personalized the real world in augmented reality. And to be clear, the content can be anything. It could be AR content, VR, 3D, 2D audio. So any type of content anywhere. And you have a world and I have a world. So there's an unlimited number of filters on the world. And then what we did is we divided Earth into 64 billion virtual plots, 0.01, 0.01 longitude, latitude. And so you could buy real world locations, the virtual real estate encompassing those locations. Each one of those is a digital asset. Each one's about $65 in today's prices. It's 100 Matic unpurchased. So when you buy one of those plots, you're able to reprice it to whatever you want. But as an owner of that plot, you can activate monetization from advertising, e-commerce, digital commerce, data, analytics, gaming, decentralized finance, and a lot of ways to come. So the idea is that you can become a stakeholder in locations in the world that you love, and then you could activate monetization from those unlimited number of filters that are created there by everyone. So that's kind of a high level on SuperWorld. Again, the vision is, how do we enhance your real life and how do we collectively improve Earth and humanity? So that's what SuperWorld's all about.
Would you like to also maybe give us a short tour around
Sure.
SuperWorld?
Yeah, so let me walk you through a bit of what SuperWorld's about.
We'll also mention some of the concepts later again, but here it's also for you guys to have a bit more clear vision of what it looks like, what our application is like.
Yeah, for sure. So let me just show you. I'm going to zoom in. I think you probably saw me kind of fly around here on the map. I'm zooming in on New York City. Just going to refresh here. So if you look at New York City, it looks like 300 or 400 plots or something in New York have been bought. I'm showing you the virtual real estate and how that works. You can click anywhere on the map. Anywhere in blue, there's already purchased. So if you want to buy that, you make an offer. Anywhere that's not been purchased, it's not colored. So you can click anywhere on the map that doesn't have a color, and that means that those properties are unpurchased. So each one of those, you click on it and you'll see it's yellow. You can buy that for 100 Matic, which is about $66 in today's prices. And then anything that is in orange is repriced. So you can click on that, and that's repriced to sell. And so you can price things for whatever you want. This plot's $123,000. This one, 118. So you get the point, is you can list any property you want for whatever price you want. But by being an owner of those properties, you can activate monetization in that location, from advertising, e-commerce, digital commerce, data analytics, lots of other things, live and virtual events. I'll show you what we're doing with Sports Illustrated. We have a partnership with Sports Illustrated where they added 250,000 events onto the map, onto their world in Sports Illustrated. So I'm zooming out. This is their world, and they have, events all over the world on the map. It takes a little bit of time to populate, but you see it'll start populating all over the map. But if I zoom in on this, I'll zoom back in on New York City as an example. So, I could click here on the map, and it looks like the Gramercy Theater. There's a concert called Beauty School Dropout. And, if I come here and buy tickets to this is a live event that I'd be going to. And let's say Marta owns the virtual real estate in this location. She would benefit from the ticketing monetization that happens from the ticketing sales that happen in SuperWorld for this location. So in other words, I'm going to a live event, and to be clear, even a virtual event, if it was placed there, I'm going and buying a ticket to a live or virtual event. And that, since it's pinned there, the owner of the virtual real estate in that location is a stakeholder at that location. So activates monetization from the ticket sales that happen in that location. And then the other thing is that anyone can create content in any location as well. So I could actually go to a concert, take a photo at the concert, click, and upload that photo right to where the concert is. And so, anywhere in SuperWorld, you can upload content and view content in real world locations, right? And you can view that in augmented reality. It can be audio, 3D, 2D, literally anything, anywhere. And so that content can be uploaded as a link. So you can upload like a YouTube link of something. You could upload a live stream. So any type of content uploadable anywhere, viewable from anywhere. And so that kind of goes into some of the things that you can do in SuperWorld. The other thing you can do, which I'll point out, is you can create a business profile. So once you've created a user profile, you have a business and you want to make your business more discoverable in SuperWorld, you can create a business profile as well. And that'll help your business be better discovered on Google or search engines and improve your SEO ranking of your website. But those are just a few of the things that you can do. I think we're going to talk about a lot more things today when we go through the presentation, but I wanted to give you a quick kind of walkthrough of the platform so you can get familiar with it, especially those of you who've never seen it.
Yeah, and also, by the way, Alex, I saw your question, so I also saved it for the Q&A and for the discussion later. I think it's more of a Q&A question, actually. So yeah, but let's move on. And let's go through the offers for this week.
Yeah. So this week we are covering Denver, Colorado, and we have our Denver offer. So every week we try to, get highlight a new city around the world, because we have so many people all over the world that love cities that they've spent time in. Part of SuperWorld is discovering the world and getting to know places in the world. So I'm always excited to cover new cities. I don't think we've ever displayed Denver before or highlighted Denver. So this is the first time that we're doing that. So very excited about having Denver as our city of the week. There's always a lot of stuff going on in Denver. SI Tickets has lots of events, but this week we have a virtual real estate promotion in Denver. If you buy 3 plots of virtual real estate in Denver, you'll get 2 plots of virtual real estate anywhere in the world as a bonus. So as well as 20 plots in Denver this week, and you get 15 plots anywhere in the world as a bonus. So it's a great week. If you've been to Denver, you went to school in Denver, you love Denver, if you're thinking about buying virtual real estate in Denver, this is a great week to do so. So come in over and take advantage of that. And we have our super offer, which is an offer for new customers, which is buy your first plot anywhere in the world, and you'll get a bonus plot plus benefits worth $1,100, which include, access to our SuperWorld school content, which includes information on and education on immersive technology, Web3, and AI. You'll get access to events that we're holding, as well as a digital twin consultation. And then, as I mentioned, you'll get a bonus plot of virtual real estate alongside buying your first plot of virtual real estate. So come over and take advantage of our super offer.
So I guess now it's the time to move on to the topic of the week, which is going in depth with the vision and the utility of SuperWorld.
Yeah, so we're going to go through kind of the different aspects of our vision. Again, on a high level, the vision is, how could we build a virtual world? What if we could build a virtual world together that enhances people's real lives, enables people to create livelihoods, enables people to do what they love in the real world, whether that's engaged with a brand or a movement that they're involved in or supportive of, get involved in their community, market their business, start a business, be able to activate or run that business from anywhere in the world, to be able to have exposure to what's happening in other parts of the world. So number one part of the vision is enhancing your real life, whatever that means for you. And then secondly, the greater vision as well is, how can we all, come together to build a decentralized virtual world that actually improves Earth and helps humanity. So we've partnered with the World Bank in the Caribbean. We've had tribes in the Amazon, utilize SuperWorld to create digital art in the Amazon jungle. Green Zone, who's on tonight, Tiante, has utilized SuperWorld very often to promote recycling and cleanup of beaches and other environments. The idea is, can we use this platform to do something very positive and utilize the technology in that way? And so that's the vision. And the first slide here is about becoming a stakeholder. And the beauty of SuperWorld is, when you get involved in SuperWorld, you become a stakeholder in SuperWorld. So you can, again, access and own virtual real estate in real world locations, as we discussed. And when you own virtual real estate, you can activate monetization in those real world locations and become a stakeholder in those locations. And we have other ways for you to become a stakeholder by becoming a diplomat in SuperWorld, where you can also help us build and evangelize SuperWorld, as well as with a new feature that we're launching called Worlds, where you can have and build your own world and enable people in your community and your customers, your stakeholders, to come into your world in SuperWorld. And so we really want to create a community of communities, right? So you can create a way for you to become a stakeholder and also bring in other stakeholders into your world in SuperWorld. So that's a very important part of kind of building SuperWorld, is empowering people to use these technologies in a way that enables them to, as I said, enhance their life and to build a better world.
Okay, thanks, Hrish. And the next one is that everybody can become a creator with SuperWorld.
Yeah, that's right. So becoming a creator is a big part of this. So we want you to enable you to create content of any sort, anywhere. We're all in this movement of becoming creators. And if you're not already, it's likely that you will be soon. The number of creators is just increasing every year by many multiples. And over the next 5 to 10 years, I think we're going to really see a boom in the ability for everyone to become a creator, become an entrepreneur, become very global in terms of how they're operating as a business, as an individual, really use tools that enable them to create content that can be visualized from anywhere in the world, to be able to use Web3 and NFTs and digital assets to have exposure to different places in the world, use generative AI to create content by just saying some words or typing some words. And, that's the beauty of this, is these tools in SuperWorld really empower you to be a creator, help you distribute your content, and get your community into your world and into SuperWorld. So becoming a creator is a big part of our vision.
I also want to ask you a spontaneous question.
Yep.
Since you already mentioned generative AI, there is this kind of worry, in the space that actually AI might take away people's creativity, or even, there are certain designers that are growing and they are afraid maybe of how their future is going to turn out. So I just want to ask you, actually, is AI going to be a threat, or maybe there are ways to use AI to actually enhance our creativity and take it to the next level?
Yeah, I think that there's a lot that AI is going to do as it evolves and it improves in terms of enabling and empowering all of us and creating content, creating ideas, being able to disseminate those ideas, to be able to learn, to be able to incorporate information into our processes, to be able to mix different techniques and styles together, different philosophies, whatever it is that you're creating. AI is going to be additive to that process. I don't think that it will ever completely replace one's ability to create. I think you're going to find that AI is going to be really good, and we're already seeing that. But I think that there's always going to be room for ingenuity of thought and the ability for humankind to have the joy of creation. I think it's something we all have, but I think we're going to be able to utilize AI to improve that process and to potentially improve or enhance that end product, and maybe use tools to be able to create in ways that maybe naturally you don't have the talent. So if you're not a natural painter, but you can describe what you want to paint, maybe you can become an amazing painter, right? So I think that it's going to ultimately benefit us. And I think at the core, our ability to use AI is going to be the important aspect of that relationship.
I love that you brought the example of a painter because, well, I personally believe that AI is, just like you're saying, it's going to help us actually. But I also already have an example of an artist, and she is a spiritual artist as well. And she does make individual pieces with a certain intention. But during her latest exhibition, she has created, I think, 16 pieces that were first designed using Midjourney. And then she still took the prints and she used this kind of wooden print to create similar pieces that were slightly different from each other. So it allowed her to save some time, yet still convey the message was healing. There were similar pieces. You were supposed to pick the one that resonated with you the most and so on. But I think she's the great example of a person that still has her own, her individuality and can still create unique pieces. But yet when there is an entire collection of pieces that are slightly similar to each other, AI allowed her to make the process more efficient while she still remained with her identity.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's remarkable, kind of the different ways that people are going to be experimenting with AI and what is possible with it. So I'm always just very excited about the evolution of it as it's moving so quickly. So I'm waiting for more 3D use cases, as we all are in SuperWorld. So I can't wait for that.
So the live to earn, yeah.
Yeah. So live to earn. I like that that picture there. So live to earn is all about how can we bring in tokenomics and gaming type mechanisms. There's a concept called play to earn that many of you have probably heard of. But if you haven't, it's the idea that you play a video game and you get points, and then now with crypto you can take those points and cash it out for fiat currency, and then you're basically able to earn a living by playing a video game. And in some countries people are already doing that, basically playing games and earning a living or benefiting themselves. And we thought, what if we could build live to earn, which is what we call it, which is the idea of how can we bring those same concepts into your real life, so you could actually do the things that you love to do in your real life and benefit from doing those activities. So, can we get Nike to give you an incentive for running a marathon, or, Bacardi to have you go to one of their events, or, Virgin Unite to have you do something for the community? So the idea is, can we bring these mechanisms into our real life so we can actually do the things that we love to do in our real lives? And that's what Live to Earn's about. And in SuperWorld, we've built a virtual world that covers Earth, so it's all around us. So in our real lives, we can bring these mechanisms in and enable you to do things you enjoy doing and benefit from those doings. Wouldn't that be cool? If you could just if you like going to the beach, like, you could do that and you could benefit from that activity, whatever it was. Maybe joining a volleyball team, or getting involved in a beach cleanup or recycling with Green Zone, or going on a trip somewhere. Maybe you like traveling, maybe you like going to museums. So all the things that we love, there's got to be ways to kind of bring these concepts into our real life. And some of that is like, I wear a Whoop band, and a Whoop band allows me to measure my sleep and strain and other things. And it's a very passive way of enabling me to do what I do, but have this connection where I'm benefiting from my data that I'm sharing about what I'm doing. Right. And so it's a similar concept. So I'm going a little bit deeper into live to earn, but that's what we're trying to build.
So yeah, I also wanted to add to this, because I think that it really highlights that SuperWorld is supposed to be the life enhancing platform, not the life escaping platform, just like you like to highlight this.
Mm-hmm.
And I also wanted to say that I do think it has a lot of potential for the future, when I'm thinking about, for example, even my current life, where I'm working, a lot, because it's very important. We're having like a very difficult times, right? And we don't know what the future might bring. So I focus on work, on gaining stability and so on. But I do believe that, for example, with SWX, gaining the points for doing something that I love, it would help me kind of rebalance things and still find motivation to find more time for doing things that I love, while at the same time, getting some additional passive benefits from this, which I think it's only will help people to regain some mental health balance in the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess the idea is that, and you were referring to SuperWorld X, which is our currency in
Yes.
SuperWorld, just for anyone who's listening. I think the idea is that, by doing actions or doing things that you enjoy doing, whatever that is, and as we can get that currency to be enabled with, brands that you're interacting with, or maybe a health club that you go to, or maybe a meditation center or something that you're involved in, right? And you're kind of doing all these things, and just as I have a Whoop band and I get sleep and I get 100 points, and that's like a sleep score, and
Yeah.
there's like all these benefits, and there's this kind of gamification. Some people like run, and they're in like a Nike run club, and there's like points, and there's a lot of things that we think about, we know about, we're already doing. And this concept is, how can we bring that in every part of our life, in a virtual world that covers Earth? So that's the idea, is how can we bring all that together? That's right.
Yeah, of course. I totally agree with you. I'm saving all the questions for the Q&A, and the digital twin.
Sure. So, one of the things that we have a very strong connection to, as it relates to virtual real estate, because again, we've divided Earth into 64 billion properties, plots, geospatial plots, 0.01, 0.01 longitude, latitude, covering Earth, right? And many of our super citizens who come into SuperWorld, what they do is, just to give you kind of a user behavior, they're very interested in learning about what SuperWorld's about. And that's why a lot of people are watching this show every week, and getting involved and bringing their friends. A lot of people are very curious about these technologies, the future, whether it's immersive technology, AR, VR, Web3, blockchain, DeFi, crypto, Bitcoin's going back up. People are excited about that. People are interested in AI, generative AI. They just started using ChatGPT and they're blown away. So people are excited about these technologies, and people like myself are very optimistic about these technologies. That's why we call it SuperWorld, right? It improves your life. And when they come to SuperWorld, what they do is they buy virtual real estate in places they love, places they have a business, places they go on vacation, places maybe they grew up. And when we talk to our customers, a lot of them, when we ask them, why did you buy a certain place? One answer we hear quite a bit is they own physical real estate in that location. So they own commercial real estate there. They own a store, they own a house, they own something physical in the location where they bought virtual real estate, right? And again, our mission is linking virtuality and physicality. So how do we bring this virtual world and physical world together? And so that's where digital twins, or one of our friends calls it digital clones, comes about. And digital twins is a way for anyone to create a 3D replica of their store, of their building, commercial real estate, residence, whatever. And it doesn't even have to be a replica, to be honest. Like if you even have a virtual store, if you have a Shopify store, you can build a 3D version of your store and have products inside of it. If you want to, have a 3D version of an office, you can do that. And we have a multiple ways that we can help you create a digital twin. We have a low code, no code option. So it, doesn't cost you very much to build one, in the hundreds of dollars. Or we have a commercial real estate digital twin. We've partnered with Magma, who we had on last week, where you can do something that's going to manage your data and your property and help you, work with service providers who might work on your property. So data is a big part of that, but we'd also do an identical version of your digital twin with Magma. And then we could do custom kinds of things too. So if you work at a museum, or you have a gallery, or you want to build a very custom experience, we can also do that as well. So creating kind of these virtual digital twins and or experiences is a big part of our vision.
Okay, so also we have the business profiles.
Great. So the last part of as we kind of delve into some of these parts, features, I would say, of our vision, or use cases that we've kind of created so far, and leads us into our discussion. A lot of our super citizens are business builders. They're entrepreneurs. They are, running a sole proprietorship type of business. Maybe they have a technology business. Maybe they're scaling. Maybe they're in a traditional business. What we want to do is enable them to be discovered, first of all. And one of our super citizens, who's actually an SEO professional, helped us create a product, and we call it Business Profiles. And what it is designed to do is help dramatically improve your SEO of your website. So if you have a website of any sort, if you're a doctor, an attorney, if you're an accountant, if you're a plumber, it doesn't matter what profession you're in. If you run a technology business, it doesn't matter. Any type of business, if you have a website, one of the first things you can do is come over to SuperWorld, sign up for your user profile, and then create a business profile. And what it allows you to do is showcase your social media, showcase your business, pick a place anywhere in the world. So one of the challenges with Google Maps, as an example, if you wanted to put your business on Google Maps, you actually have to be physically located in an area. The beauty of having a virtual world on top of the real world is we can enable you to locate your business anywhere you want. If you want to be in downtown Dubai, do it. Just post your content there and geolocate yourself on the map in downtown Dubai. So you can locate yourself anywhere in the world, create a business profile. We'll assign or corresponding virtual real estate to that location. We'll enable you to get into a digital twin so people can click in and visualize your office or your store, or your gallery, or whatever it is. So this is a way of differentiating yourself in the marketplace. And I like how you said it. It takes your business outside the box. And if you're an out of the box thinker, if you're a business person that wants to really elevate yourself in terms of your customers and what you're, doing in terms of utilizing technology, this is a great way to start. Come over to SuperWorld, create a business profile, but we're going to add a lot more ability for you to do this and market yourself as a business too. So we're excited to have this part of our vision. Yeah. And the final one is sharing events. So again, we've partnered with SI Tickets by Sports Illustrated. But the idea here is we want to enable you to create and share events with anyone in the world, anywhere in the world, live or virtual events. So you can come into SuperWorld, click create event. You'll go over to SI Tickets website. You can create event there. And we have a relationship with them. So it'll show up on the Sports Illustrated website, but it'll also show up on the SuperWorld map. And then you'll create monetization for those ticket sales in that location in SuperWorld. So events is a big part of our vision too.
Okay, so I think that now it's the time when we can have open discussion with our audience. I already saw some questions being shared in the chat. However, we would also love to hear. Sorry, Hrish, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just trying to say, for this, we're going to do a Q&A at the end. So let's do the Q&A at the end. This part of the conversation is, if anyone has any thoughts on, and I wanted to kind of make this more interactive with everyone who's listening. But the idea is, does anyone have thoughts on the things that we've talked about as it relates to vision and use cases for your business, or ways that maybe we haven't mentioned that you would want to use SuperWorld? So again, we're launching a product called World soon, where you can create a world in SuperWorld. You can do all the things that we just talked about, right? Create content, become a creator, buy real estate. You can build a digital twin. You can build a business profile. You can, add ticketing to events anywhere in the world, and more things. So one of the things that I wanted to see was, is there something that anyone who's listening here who understands our vision now would think about, like, hey, I would want to do this or that. And again, this is kind of an open discussion to throw out ideas about what you would want to do and if there's things that we're missing. So please feel free to
Also, let us know what. I also wanted to say, you can just also let us know what your project is about. We
Yeah.
would love to hear that. And this is also a great space to
please.
Start a discussion from.
Yeah, that's right. If you have a project you're working on, why don't you let us know what it is? Write it in the comments. We'll give you a shout out, and would love to hear what you're working on, and we can discuss that as well. So let us know if anyone wants to, either name a project or name a specific discussion point that we may have missed. And maybe we didn't miss any. I don't know. That's always the case. We've tried to be pretty comprehensive with our topic areas for the vision, and I think we've been very careful to make sure that we've talked to our users about the things that we've built so far. So maybe there's not anyone who's have anything that they want to bring up as a specific topic. In that case, do you want to do? We could do maybe some questions then, and the questions that we've gotten, and answer some of those. What do you think, Marta? I'm open to either or. We can maybe do some that are more appropriate to open discussion, and then wait till the end to do some of the others are more kind of maybe just
Yes, but actually I also wanted to maybe share my story of why I actually really felt connected with SuperWorld when I joined it,
Sure.
because I think I didn't mention it so much, and it actually started me thinking about concepts that SuperWorld started answering. It already began in March this year, when I was thinking. So I already mentioned to you a couple of times. So I'm a person that practices paganism, and this is a very old kind of practice. It's a very old culture, Slavic paganism, and over the hundreds of years, a lot of information, a lot of traditions and knowledge about these practices was lost, right? Because it was mostly delivered with the word of mouth. And well, in the recent years, I noticed that there are more and more people who want to reconnect with nature, and who feel very emotionally connected to these aspects of life. And I was thinking that since I wouldn't want again all this knowledge to get lost. Like, all these people are working very hard to rediscover what their roots are, where they are from, their identity, the identity that goes further than even the creation of my country, Poland. So this is a very, very long journey, and I was imagining it, or this year, that it would be really beautiful if there was a way to collect all this information, all these memories that are sometimes not even collected in a form of text, but just in a form of just some memories, or some certain experiences, and to be able to post this in a virtual world. And I was thinking about that concept a lot, and then you came my way and basically on top of this, then information would be saved on blockchain, which would make it, safely and permanent there, not influenced by any third parties that would maybe don't agree with this vision.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was for me, for example, SuperWorld was the answer
Mm-hmm.
to my dream of collecting all the important information of the remains of our culture in the digital world,
Mm-hmm.
and creating memories for that.
Yeah, that's I think really interesting. You're bringing up something I hear a lot from people, which is how can you memorialize information. When we did the partnership with the tribes in the Amazon jungle that I mentioned to you. One of the things that was a big part of that partnership was how do the tribes, who again are slowly, losing their native homeland in the Amazon jungle because of deforestation, how do they retain some of, retain their culture and enable other people to discover their culture from other places in the world. And so, the idea is, we can use a virtual world, a virtual filter of the world, right? Where on that filter, you can have all of the information and the history, whatever it is of whatever culture that you believe in and you support, and other people can learn about that, and they can learn about it in the locations where it happened. And so it's this kind of cultural, historical way of recording things that are important to people in general, like societies, cultures, but even individuals. I mean, whether it's a place that you got married and you want to record that event and always have that and the memories in that location that can be discovered later, so your kids can relive it at the location where it's happening, or whether it's your ancestors or whatever. So that's what's cool.
This is very important.
Yeah.
I have to also tell you one more thing, because you see, this is why I'm a part of SuperWorld, because there are so many things that I see myself that have great value in SuperWorld. So I did a very simple trick last Christmas for my father, and I took his parents' photos, and I used this simple AI trick where, the face starts to move, and I just put it in a digital frame, and he was completely shocked with what emotional aspect, what emotional value just seeing his parents moving and being active had on him. So I was also recently thinking, but you can see I'm a very sentimental person, that SuperWorld has a very, very long-term vision, because imagine that now you're collecting all your life experiences in your world, around the globe.
Yeah.
And then it stays there because it's also built on blockchain, right?
Yeah.
It stays.
All right.
And then in the future, your grandchildren and grandchildren, they can really go, and it's not just from the memories, they can really live through the life that you have experienced and the things that you went throughout your life. And I think this is it's very important, to collect this kind of wisdom and to have more means to support the next generations, and to show them what the world actually looked like, because it will be very, very different in the next, decades.
Yeah.
So this is also a huge aspect of SuperWorld, which I think goes really decades ahead.
Yeah. No, it's cool. It blows my mind as well. It's it's a way of kind of adding data to locations that's accretive, right? The data is accretive over time, and it stays and it increases, and it gets more interesting, and there's parallels and there's connections, and and especially on the virtual real estate side too. There's always different significance of why someone acquires virtual real estate. I remember when I was talking to someone, I think I was in Austin, and I was speaking at the public library there in Austin at this event that they hosted us for, and it was featuring SuperWorld. And someone in the audience came to me, and they told me that they actually bought the virtual real estate encompassing the public library, right? And so I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, what, like maybe they're into history, or maybe, I don't know, maybe they're into books, so I was asking them about how that works, and what their interest was, and why they bought that. And actually they were telling me that, like, the reason they did it is because long ago that area was some ancient, like, historical site, and that's why they purchased this area in Superworld. So it wasn't even what I thought, which was this library that was just built, like, 10 years ago or something. But the reason that area was significant for them was, like, 500 years ago or whatever, there was something else there. And so, it's interesting over time, whether you're talking about physical structures get built somewhere, but also the history and the data and other things that you can build even retroactively. Like, that person who owns that place, they're gonna be focused in their world on putting all the historical information in that area from whatever era they're interested in, right? And someone else might be putting in other historical information about their own life, or about what's happening, in that part of Texas, maybe 200 years later, or 1,000 years later. So it's mind blowing about what you said about the layers of data that can be added on the blockchain in a location. This is what's very powerful.
This is also the reason why I'm really still in Web3 for me. Like, and this is the reason, as I'm saying, when I was thinking about this tool, I was basically imagining SuperWorld.
Mhm.
So it was really, like, for me, incredible that I met you in person, and you basically told me that you're developing,
Wow,
such a
that's
tool.
great. That's awesome. I hear that a lot, by the way, is that a lot of people tell me, like, I had this thought about Superworld. And I'm like, wow, that's cool. Like, join in, which is the beauty of
I
it,
had
is
this
anyone can join, anyone can create a world. So, and that's what's exciting, is anyone who has the idea, oh, I want to create a world. Well, that's what Superworld's about, is come on in and create your world.
Yeah, and this is how I also see, the technology and the future developing without us detaching from our roots.
Mhm.
For me, like, like, the roots is quite an important. I love globalization, and I love the opportunities that it gave us, and that we can have digital nomads. I'll be moving forward with the topic very soon, with the next topics very soon.
Mhm.
But I just want to say that, just like globalization is very important and it gave us lots of new opportunities, I do believe that we can only move forward once we know where our anchor started from. And I do believe that solutions like SuperWorld will allow us to do so. So yeah, this is my personal view, but now you can see, why I'm a part of SuperWorld. Yeah, okay. So it was, our discussion after all, but I really loved it. And yeah, let's move on, and let's share the offers for from the week. Let's recap that.
Yeah, so just a quick recap, and then we'll go to questions. There's a lot of questions, and we'll get to those. I'm glad we had a chance to just kind of discuss on a high level some interesting use cases that weren't brought up. And if you guys have more, we can talk about them too, in the future. But again, this week we're promoting Denver, Colorado. So if you love Denver, come over to Superworld and buy virtual real estate in Denver this week. Buy 3 plots in Denver, virtual real estate, and get 2 bonus plots anywhere in the world for free, or buy 20 virtual real estate plots in Superworld, get 15 plots of virtual real estate anywhere in the world for free. And each plot's about $65, about 100 Matic to purchase. So come over if you love Denver. This is a great week to take advantage of that. And the super offer, which is available for new customers, buy one plot anywhere in the world and get one bonus plot for free, and other benefits worth around $1,100. So we have a digital twin consultation. You get access to events that we're holding, as well as access to our SuperWorld's school, which will get you access to info on the metaverse, Web3, and immersive tech. So come over, and if you haven't joined or gotten involved in SuperWorld, it's a great way to get your first plot and get a bonus plot anywhere in the world for free, and then get all these other ways to, onboard into the SuperWorld ecosystem.
Yeah, so we are now at the end of the session. Let's do a quick recap and move on to the questions.
Yeah, so recap today, we had a discussion about our vision, kind of went through that in a bit more detail. What are all the different ways that we're enhancing your real life and how we can collectively build a better world? That's our vision. But we talked about how you can, become a stakeholder. What that means is buying virtual real estate or creating a world and being able to have, the ability to monetize and to activate monetization in different ways. And to be really part of the ecosystem, the community we're building. Number two is really, the ability to be a creator and to use SuperWorld to create any type of content anywhere: 3D, 2D, audio, VR, AR, 360 photo, 360 video. You can create content anywhere in the world. And so becoming a big creator is a big part of that. Building a digital twin. So if you have physical real estate, you have a store, you can create a 3D replica of your store. Or if you don't have a store and you have you want to create a store, you can come over and build a digital twin of an imaginary store, right? Or imaginary gallery. If you're an artist and you sell physical art, you can create a digital art gallery and sell art. So there's anything possible on the digital twin side. We also have a commercial real estate option there. And so lots of cool stuff with digital twins. And then we're also doing events as well with Sports Illustrated. So you can create events, you can sell tickets to events. Again, our idea is bridging your virtual and your physical life together. And there's so many use cases on the business side as well. So creating a business profile and really showcasing that your business is thinking outside of the box. So that's like some of the things that are available, but would love to hear from you. And it's an ongoing conversation about how we can continue to build features and products that really help you as a business owner, as an individual. And, our latest product that I talked about, the business profiles, came from one of our super citizens. So we're very, very excited about when a super citizen comes to us and says, "Hey, I have an idea." We're all ears. So I'd love to hear about that and love to build something for all of you. So with that being said, let's go to Q&A.
Yes, sure. So I just want to put the full emphasis on every question that will appear. So I'm just going to also get rid of the presentation, and there is just us now and the questions. So is there talks of SA creating advertisements in high traffic areas within SuperWorld?
Well, again, the idea of any brand, to create advertisements is a fundamental use case to enable ways for users to learn about what's happening in the world around them, to be able to access, events or content related to, things that are relevant to them that they're interested in. So again, that is definitely a fundamental part of what we're building. And we're launching a product called Worlds, which we're officially announcing very soon. But when we launch that product, we're going to be enabling brands and users to create a world in SuperWorld. And some of the content in one's world could be an ad or kind of a promotion or a way to enable a visitor to that world to learn about products or events or whatever it is that they want to promote. So I think brands are going to be very excited about that opportunity, and we're looking at a variety of integrations that can really make that easy. But I'd say the important thing is that we want to make sure that we are very cognizant of enabling users to have their own world, have sovereignty, meaning that you control what's in your world and you control what you see. So I don't want you to see ads if you don't want to see them per se in your world. So we got to just kind of be careful about that. But that being said, if you are open to engaging with the brand and are interested in seeing advertisements, or being informed about something a brand that you love is doing, we'd love to enable that. So the answer is yes in general for brands.
Will there be a like button over content in SuperWorld's, allow people to, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce this word, gauge the success of what they post?
Yeah, sure. That we're, anytime we release products, we always release when we are embarrassed. So I think it's a Reed Hastings phrase from LinkedIn. If you're not embarrassed, you've released too late. So we follow that rule. So if there isn't a like button right now and you like a like button, and obviously we do too, there will be a like button. So we want to make sure that you can comment and to show your appreciation for content in Worlds.
And also, I will bring up 2 questions from Milton, because I think they will clarify some important details and a message that we just want to make sure that is clarified. Why own or sell land that is not owned by you in the physical world? What are the legal consequences?
Yeah, so this is a important question. So in SuperWorld, just to be clear, you're not buying physical land, right? So we've built per se. I mean, when I say you're buying virtual real estate, what you're buying is SuperWorld has created a virtual filter on the world, and we've divided that filter into 0.01, 0.01 longitude, latitude. So you're buying a section of SuperWorld covering the real world, anywhere in the world. And you're not buying or owning anything in the physical world, any IP, anything. You're just buying virtual real estate covering Earth in different locations. And again, we show you that on a map so you can see what's in the physical world. I mean, a lot of people identify a map based on what's there in the physical world, but we're selling you 0.01, 0.01 longitude, latitude in SuperWorld, which is a virtual layer covering Earth. So that's it. Again, there's no issue in doing that legally. It's almost like, I mean, the best way to describe it, Milton, is we've created 64 billion zones around the world that are part of the SuperWorld platform, and you're buying one of those zones of SuperWorld.
And also, there is another thing that we need to clarify: why use a native coin versus Bitcoin? Because this is SWX is not a token, right?
Yeah. So first of all, to be clear, SuperWorld X is our currency in SuperWorld. It's not a cryptocurrency, to be clear. It's just what we're using in SuperWorld. It's priced at $50 for 1,000 SuperWorld X. And there's kind of two parts to it, just to be technically clear. So one SuperWorld X is used inside of SuperWorld. So if you come to SuperWorld, you can earn SuperWorld X. Come and log in every day. You can earn SuperWorld X for doing that. You can earn SuperWorld X for creating content. You can earn SuperWorld X for building a digital twin. Literally almost everything you do in SuperWorld, you can earn SuperWorld X. And that SuperWorld X can be spent inside of SuperWorld on a variety of things that we'll, we've kind of notated and we'll continue to add. And we'll also enable brands to also utilize that SuperWorld X as well in different ways for you to interact with those brands. And then there's another form of SuperWorld X, and we'll probably come up with a different name for this, but right now it's kind of separated into two. That one is more of a payment form of SuperWorld X. So you can pay someone with it, you can buy it, and you can also cash that out. So again, that's how we're currently set up. And so come over to SuperWorld and earn SuperWorld X by doing things, or come and buy SuperWorld X. And then you can use that to buy real estate, or create a business profile, and do other things in SuperWorld. Ultimately, Milton, what we want to do is incentivize everyone to not use anything but SuperWorld X in SuperWorld, and we'll make it beneficial to use that currency. It's vertically integrated into SuperWorld. And we'll vertically integrate it into the brands and other partnerships and worlds that are created in SuperWorld. So that's a process. That's what we're working on. And versus Bitcoin, Bitcoin's great. You can use Bitcoin in SuperWorld, and you can utilize BitPay or other such mechanisms to convert that into Polygon or Matic and buy virtual real estate. So, we have different ways, regardless of what crypto you have, to utilize that, convert it into Polygon, Matic, and to use it in SuperWorld. But we have our own currency because we want to, have something that people can use that's a lot more seamless, and they can store it in SuperWorld. And ultimately, we'll get into other kind of use cases as well from having that currency. So that's kind of what we're working towards.
When will a person-to-person SWX transfer system be created in the SW community?
Yeah, so that's coming really soon. That's a great question, Alex. Yeah, we're on that. That's a high priority. As well as e-commerce integrations, peer-to-peer selling. So it's all kind of part of that system. Is what we want to do is very soon turn on peer-to-peer commerce in SuperWorld. So you can create the product and sell it in SuperWorld to someone else in SuperWorld using SuperWorld X or SWX. So it's coming very soon. I can't wait till it's launched.
Ticket sales, real estate, and other monetization seem to rely on the SuperWorld site getting a lot more traffic. Is there a plan to promote it to a broader audience, or do you expect users to do this?
Well, ultimately, we're building a product that users will want to use and will want to share with other users. So the goal is to utilize, our product-led efforts to grow the user base and traffic. So, what we're focused on is really, again, the core of this call was we do many of these, and we do brainstorming sessions with our diplomats, who are any virtual real estate owners that own 5 or more plots of virtual real estate. We have, discussion groups in our channels. So really, ultimately, King of Spinach, our goal is to build a product that our users want. And we're fortunate because we have lots of real estate owners, and more every day, who are telling us what they want us to build. And we're building those features, and improving the product. And that's how we expect it to gain more and more traffic over time. And so that's the plan. But would love to hear from you. If you're not a diplomat, King of Spinach, definitely make sure you come on board, buy 5 properties or more, and would love to have you in those brainstorming sessions as well, and in some of those diplomat channels. By the way, I didn't mention, but we do have a diplomat offer that's always available, which is buy 5 properties anywhere in the world and get 5 bonus plots for free. It's our diplomat offer. So if you're not a diplomat, if anyone's listening to this question is like, hey, I have some ideas, how do I do this? You can join our diplomat program, and we do have an offer for that too. So, but great question. And thanks for that.
Okay, let me double check. Yes, it was the last question that we received.
Okay.
So I think this will be the perfect moment to close our webinar of this week. And also next week, we're very excited because we'll have another guest, and our guest is going to be Choice Community. It's the biggest queer community in Web3, and they're doing some amazing things. And we'll be talking about the Global Pride in Milan and what we are planning to do with Choice for that special occasion. So we'll have a very interesting guest and some really interesting new things coming to you guys. Next week is going to be big, so really make sure to be there next week. I'm already very excited. So
yeah, me too. I always like having guests. It's great. So I'm very excited about that, and we'll have more and more guests coming up. Worlds is coming, and as that comes out, we're excited about kind of interacting with more and more communities. So I'm excited about next week's SuperWorld Live. So see you there.
Yeah, it's a big new start. It's a big new start for SuperWorld. New beginning, yeah, for SuperWorld. Okay, thank you guys. Have a great night.
See ya.